Building mobile apps that integrate social features has never been easier. Using Trigger.io and our integration with the Facebook SDKs for iOS and Android, you can build native mobile apps writing your code in JavaScript that incorporate social. You can add user authentication, get user data, and post to users' timeline. We've created a simple demo app called Scrumptious to show you that. First, let's see the app, and then we'll dive into the code. Using the Trigger.io toolkit, I can click to build the app code for iOS and run it in the iPhone simulator. That's going to take just a few seconds. You can get the code and try this out for yourself if you're following along with our tutorial. It takes just a couple of seconds, and then the app is up and running in the iOS simulator. The app allows users to post what meals they're eating, where and with whom, to the Facebook timeline, using OpenGraph API calls. I've logged into my Facebook account, and you can now see me going through the flow of selecting which meal I'm eating, selecting the restaurant I'm in based on my location, and selecting my friends with whom I'm eating with. As well as the Facebook login and data, you can see a number of native mobile features in action. For example, we use geolocation for selecting which restaurant we're in, and the native top bar component. Notice how the top bar UI changes, adding buttons such as back and done, depending on exactly which view I'm in inside the app. So that's the app on the iPhone built with the Trigger.io toolkit, but I can show it just as easily on Android from the same codebase. And this time I'll show you it with my command line tools. All I need to do is jump to the command line and type forge build Android. As with the toolkit UI, all that's doing is doing a round trip to our servers to actually build the app for Android. And then forge run Android will kick off the app in the Android emulator. That'll take just a few seconds. And there you go. The app started up and is opening the Facebook login page now. Okay, so that's the app, but now let's look at the code. The first thing to notice is that I'm looking at the code in TextMate. I can use whatever IDE I like. I don't have to develop in Xcode or Eclipse to build a native mobile app with Trigger.io. Also, all the code is in JavaScript, no Objective-C or Java in sight, even though we're using the native Facebook mobile SDK. That's because our cloud build service does all the native compilation on our side, so that you can just stick to JavaScript using our API. Now in this code you can see a number of our native APIs in action. For example, I'm highlighting now our forge.topbar API, where we interact with the native UI component to show it and set the title. We can also see geolocation in action with forge.geolocation.getCurrentPosition, which I'm highlighting now. I've set enable high accuracy to be true in the options so that it uses the GPS. But the fun part comes when we interact with the Facebook SDK. We've done an integration, so with a simple JavaScript call, such as forge.facebook.api, you can get data from Facebook using their native SDK. There's a number of other integrations that we have here in the app. For example, forge.facebook.authorize allows you to prompt the user for login and gets appropriate permissions to do publishing to the timeline, for example. There's several other calls to Facebook in this demo app. You can check out them all if you look on GitHub for Scrumptious. Trigger.io is partnering with Facebook to make mobile app development simple for web developers who want to incorporate social features into native mobile apps. Sign up now at Trigger.io and check out our full tutorial and documentation to get started. Thanks.